Good morning, sir.
This is in relation to the recent issues that have been raised against Air New Zealand. For this press conference, we will have our CEO, Mr. Sachi Fernando, and Ashwin Sundaram, PR Manager, Air New Zealand. And I would like to hand it over to Sachi as soon as possible so you guys can meet him in person. Thank you.
Good morning, esteemed members of the media. This is an official statement in regards to the accusations made against Air New Zealand. These accusations are that we have binge drinking culture and that we're culturally insensitive. I've become personally aware of these issues and I've decided to implement some policies and measures in the interim to ensure that this never happens again. Of course, to solve these issues is not a short-term fix. It requires long-term thinking and a long-term solution. I'll now take questions.
Yeah, this is the Waikato Times.
Right.
Mr. Fernando, we wonder who you need to reassure in order to restore the faith of Air New Zealand as an organization.
Right. Air New Zealand is an iconic New Zealand company. New Zealanders love flying with Air New Zealand. We don't want the public to lose their faith. So our first person we want to reassure is the New Zealand public that we're doing everything we can to get you to your destination safely. Secondly, I'd like to reassure our investors and stakeholders. That includes the New Zealand government and our employees. We want you to be safe at your work. No job is worth dying for. And finally, it's the regulatory authorities. We will regulate ourselves. We will ensure that passengers get to where they have to go safely and in a timely manner.
Philip from New Zealand Herald.
Right?
Can you, Mr. Fernando, be more specific as to what measures should be taken to resolve these problems?
I would like to
leave it to my PR manager.
I would like to step in right now. We've introduced quite a few measures to sort this problem out. The first thing is that we believe our staff are important to us. So we believe in increasing staff awareness in the organization. We don't believe in lying. We don't lie to our staff. We don't lie to the public. By increasing awareness with the staff, we aim to boost morale and confidence in our staff. And we've also introduced enhanced safety for customers. And we're going to take customer surveys after each flight to ask you about your flight experience to further improve customer experience because the customers are important to us.
Or is it going to be any, I'm sorry to barge in, Philip, is it going to be any difference in your the performance reviews and the customer surveys? I mean, every airline does a customer survey and employment.
Actually,
So
our
what
CEO...
difference?
I'll talk about this. Number one, we decided to implement a 360-degree performance reviews, which means anyone in the organization, from the person that cleans the cabins, to the cabin crew, pilots, management, ground staff, can talk to their superiors, people below them, even email me or leave me memos on what's going on in the organization and be critical. No man will be, there will be no witch hunts for making any critical comments or suggestions. Number two. So what was the question again?
I'm sorry, it's customer service you said? How different the customer service would be? I think you get on a flight, you fill up a form, while you get down. So what's the difference of your customer survey? You said you're going to take a measure from the customer survey. Is there anything different from the customer survey?
It's the fact that it's going to add to the company's performance reviews. Like from what you say about the cabin crew, it's also going to impact the cabin crew's performance review. That I believe no airline has implemented until today, and we're processing it out just for our customers.
All right. I have a couple of more questions, Mr. Sachi, for you. We have discussed the measures and done everything we talked about, but I think the root of the problem was your drunk pilots, the crew and the employees who are drinking outside your office. I know it's none of the Air New Zealand business who are drinking outside, but apparently there have been a lot of, they're found to be a lot of Air New Zealand employees who are drunk driving on the roads. So what do you have to do about this? What do you have to say about this? What kind of culture are you doing?
It's always best to solve a problem at the root of its problem. Prevention is better than intervention. Right. So number one, we've decided to overhaul the way that pilots are flying. So we're giving them less flying hours and more rotational shifts so that they can be with their families and friends and not resort to drinking to solve their psychological problems. Secondly, we're going to implement strong, strict staff adherence policies. If anyone on the plane thinks that you're drunk, they will not be allowed to fly. And that's why we also have a lot of co-pilots and things that we will ensure are trained to take over just in case someone is unfit to fly. Thirdly, in regards to our pilots, the ones that have been told that they're flying drunk, we're not going to cut them loose. We don't believe in causing that sort of psychological damage, which could further deteriorate their alcohol problems. We're putting in rehabilitation, alcohol rehabilitation, counselling services at all levels of the organisation so that employees are happy at their work and they carry that to their personal lives.
Yeah, what happened to the cultural insensitive issue? Here in New Zealand has been apparently growing with a lot of cultural insensitivity right from, it starts from your manual, and the recent case which has just been reported, you must have seen the News and Herald by Philip. It was an article by Philip himself, where one of the Maori women was denied a job because she had a tattoo on her hand.
A moku.
Yeah, a moku, and apparently you have a koru where they're New Zealand. So, what do you have to do about this, the cultural insensitivity in your organization, please?
We're an equal opportunity hirer. We don't cut a person again just because they've got a tattoo. That potential employee or that potential job applicant did not get the job because she lacked the necessary skills and experience to work for us. It's nothing to do with the tattoos, it's just we want to have the most professional people on our planes.
What about the manual then? You never spoke about the manual, you have been avoiding the question.
In regards to the manual, I've just recently saw that and I can now see how it's considered culturally insensitive. The organisation, me personally, has employed cultural diversity experts to come into the organisation and run orientation training programs, especially in regards to Maori and Pacific Island cultures and Asian cultures, that's Chinese and Japanese. Yes?
I've got a question. Like, it sounds like a lot of your employees have got a whole heap of major problems. Like what have you done? Have you stood this pilot down?
No, we don't, as I said, we don't cut him down loose. He's been given time off.
So how is that giving an assurance to the public that they're not going to be...
We will make sure that they do not fly until they're rehabilitated. So that will be, going into rehab programs and proving to us that they are fit to fly again.
I wonder, have you considered breath testing your pilot?
We actually have thought about breath testing our pilots. Our technical director over here considered that. I think in our board meeting. In regards to this random breath testing, I believe it's actually sort of like a big brother. It's micromanaging these people. People should not be, how do I put this? Forced into things like that. I mean, it doesn't build trust or confidence or morale. I can see why it's important, but we'd rather at the moment not be so reactionary.
However, I'm a passenger on your flight. I'm a bit concerned about getting onto the plane when I don't know whether your pilot is going to have had a drink this morning or not. And I just wondered, the same way as I drive along the road and the police stop me at 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock in the morning, which happens on the roads that I travel, and ask me to do a breath test, wouldn't it be something that you should consider?
If I could step in. That is the whole reason we have this press conference. We want to assure the public that this issue will not happen again. We will make sure of that. That's the whole reason we've got counselling sessions to get to the root of the problem. We know who has been involved in this, but we've not released the names to the press and the public because we do not want our employees to go into limelight for a bad reason. The other thing is that these rehabilitation programs have been proven and tested to get the pilots out of the alcohol problem. All we ask now is for our trust, because apart from everybody else, our employees are the most important to us, and the customers. So, yeah, you can trust us.
Thank you very much.
And just one last thing, regards to these employees, when they came to Air New Zealand, they all had police clearances. They weren't alcoholics before. And as they grow older and mature, maybe they have personal problems that may have sort of spilt into their professional lives. If they decide to get another job at another organisation, they will be known to, will be on their police records and police clearances that they have during driving convictions. So rest assured the public is safe. I'll be taking no more questions. I'm a busy person. I'll be listening. Tomorrow might be out of
Can you hold on? Our CEO has to leave due to prior appointments. I know all of you have questions. A detailed statement, a detailed report of today's statement has been placed in front of your tables. You can check it. My email address is also on the report. If any of you have any more questions, you can mail it to me. I will speak directly to our CEO and get back to you as soon as possible.